Hello, my beautiful diamonds, my Teletubbies, and my TikTokers. I was scrolling through, like I do in the morning, sometimes when I have a little time, TikTok, and I'm so sick and tired of hearing these black men constantly blame white men or white people for their troubles, for their woes, and for their problems. You know what? Let me just share this with you. This person says white people did an amazing job creating blacks in America. Whatever, child. Never want to take accountability for the choices they make. You can tell I'm very passionate about this, so I have to calm down. Here we go.
White people have done an amazing job on the Negro. Amazing job, man. It took hundreds of years, man, to break us down, boy. Take us from our home, nice and comfortable, and strip us naked, put us on ships. Damn. Make us sleep on top of each other like sardines. Just imagine the mental thought on a boat for 6 months traveling, sometimes a year. Throwing up on each other, women having menstruals on each other. Imagine the psychological breakdown of that. You thinking, man, God definitely gave up on us. And when you get to this new land, this new place, these same people snatch you off and treat you like the food you used to buy at home before they put you on the ships. 20,000, 35, 35, 45, 55, 55, sold to Mississippi. Your daughter going over there with some white folks and screaming, and you going crazy up here with these shackles on, like, yo, yo! Just imagine that. Yo!
Please.
And a year go down the drain. You still worried about your daughter. And they stressing and they beating you. And you in the hot sun. You're thirsty. You're hungry. You can't even eat the corn you picking. They can't even get a sip of water. They sitting on that horse drinking. The mental breakdown. Y'all did a wonderful job, white people. Then 200-300 years later, you get the right 2 or 3 white people to feel sorry a little bit and say, you know what? I feel sorry enough to take the chains off of them, but we got to keep them in subject. Can't let them take over. Got to make sure their numbers stay down. Can't make the same mistake they made in Egypt. Damn, depleting us by putting people in trees and dragging people. Sicking dogs, letting dogs feast. Alligators feeding babies. Alligators. The mental breakdown. Seeing your own people snatched apart by trees. The mental breakdown. Seeing the men be raped by other men. Wives having to watch that. Like, how you gonna go home and lay home next to your husband in that barn, next to the pigs? You rather lay next to the pigs, not your husband. You just seen him get abused. Imagine the breakdown. Y'all still doing it. Puff Daddy went through it. Now he doing it to others. The mental breakdown. And you put us through school systems and teach us about your history, how great you were. Alexander the Great. No, he wasn't great. He was a Greek. Alexander the Greek. The mental breakdown. Let's take their God, the biggest thing they got in their lives, and paint him white. The mental breakdown. White people. Good job. Payback a bitch. White people have done an...
Don't give me no white people. First of all, Jesus Christ was Jewish. Who cares what color he was? I don't care if he was the color of the rainbow. The message is what's important. And when it comes to you wanting to talk about the damage that white people did to black people, let's talk, black men got a lot of nerve, a lot of gall. They could talk about how wrong racism is. So excuse me, black man, sir, with all due respect, talk to me about colorism. Is that not worse than racism? If she ain't light-skinned, if she ain't pale-skinned, I want a red bone. That makes you feel like, oh, you've achieved something. Are you kidding me? And when it came to black people going through these trials and tribulation, can we talk to the generations of today? How many of you have seen babies eaten by alligators? You've seen black people this and black people at auctions. You haven't gone through any of that. These are people who refuse to listen to Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. No, what is it? Philippians chapter 3, verse 12 through 15. Leave the past in the past, baby. If you want to make it to the finish line with your sanity, let that go. Because you have more black people hurting black people than any other race that's hurting, not my kind, because my people are people who are ambassadors for Christ. Those are my people. I don't associate myself, oh, those are my people. No, my people are ambassadors for Jesus Christ. That's the team I'm on. Those are the people that I support. Now, you think about these black men, how they are doing everything in their power to tear down their own race and nation of women by choosing other races of women. They choose the Caucasian man's race and nation of women to elevate them, to glorify them, to support them, and to put them on a high pedestal while they're going around tearing down their own race and nation of women with rejection. You're not good enough. You're not this enough. You're too masculine. You're too everything but the right thing. These men haven't gone through none of that slavery stuff. And you have black history books. You have, talk about they taught us your history. You have access to black history books now. How many of you are reading them? How many of you are educating yourself? Stop blaming the white man for the decisions that you keep making. This reminds me of another video that I shared on my motivation, power thoughts, and proverbs for today. This young man, it's like humans keep blaming God for the wrong that's going on in their lives. Let me share this with you. Hold on a brief moment. You can't keep blaming nobody. Blame yourself, black man. You look at Scoops, that app called Scoops. You see black people fighting each other in the street, hitting their head on concrete. That could kill you. You could have a blow to your head that could mess with the prefrontal cortex of your head. Now you got seizures. You got all this cray-cray going on. Black people are doing that to each other. And then you want to sit around and talk about Black Lives Matter. Really? White men aren't forcing you to do that. You're doing that. You're choosing to dog out your women. You haven't gone through none of that stuff, child. Like always, looking for somebody to blame instead of taking accountability and do better. Let me share this with you because this was awesome. This young man. Stop blaming God. Oh yes, here we are. Because I love it because this is equivalent to the black men trying to blame white men. And let me say something before I share this with you. You have a lot of black women out here who are looking for black men or a man in the household. But there's a black man shortage, okay? But yet they're choosing Caucasian women over their own, okay? So what were you seeing again, black man? You got 100 black women, only 10 black men, and half of them are gay. So if you see an ebony woman having to date outside her race, she has no choice if she wants a family. If she wants children. Black men have no excuse. Black women come in all shapes, sizes, eye color, hair texture, everything, and yet they still choose to try to tear down their own race and nation of women. And the thing that really sets me off is these black men who got the nerve, the audacity. You know, they have a lot of that audacity to talk about racism. And they got the worst thing ever, colorism. Show me a dark-skinned black man. You're going to see very few. Who wants to date someone his own skin tone? Is the white man forcing you to do that too, black man? You've been brainwashed? Look, black people, they have been hard-headed and rebellious against a lot of things. Why can't you be hard-headed and rebellious against those type of things? We are powerful people. Look at everyone follows our trends. People trying to look like us, all of the above. Don't act like we don't have power, sweetheart, because we do. But you know, a man who's supposed to be the leader, these black men, they're not good leaders at all. How can you when you're trying to tear down your own nation of women? You want to support everybody else's race, everybody else's nation, but your own. And then you have the nerve to want to cry about things. You went through none of that. But let me share this, because this is equivalent to the black man complaining about the white man.
Dumb. Because you chose to sleep with a chick with no condom on. Now you got AIDS and herpes and you blaming God because you decided to get your meat wet for quick. Didn't God say don't have sex outside of marriage? Didn't he say that? So now you blaming God because you got herpes when you tried to get your thing wet. You should have exercised discipline, self-control. You should have waited. Don't blame God because you went bankrupt and you gambling. Because you hang around some fools, some knuckleheads, and you got shot. Don't blame God. Didn't he say bad company corrupt good character?
Hello.
He said that. Why you blaming God for the dumb decisions you made?
Hello.
I never blamed God for a stupid decision I made. I did question, why did God put me here in this earth to go through pain, go through hell? But then as I gotten older, I realized that God gave me life as a gift for me to be loved on. He gave me life as a gift. What happens to me is not God's will. It's not his desire. Because you chose to sleep with a chick with no condom on. Now you got AIDS and herpes and you blaming God because you decided to get your meat wet for quick. Didn't God say don't have sex outside of marriage? Didn't he say that?
This is equivalent to the black man wanting to blame the white man. You're making these choices to turn against your own race and nation of women. You're making these choices not to read up on more black history. I don't care what they're teaching in the school. You're not living back in ancient history. You don't support your own. You do everything in your power. You're fighting your own people out in the streets. You're setting all kind of bad examples for people out in the street. Excuse me, guys, that's my signal. But my point is, I have to check my sugar. I have this thing here that because I'm diabetic. You know, don't sit up here and keep blaming the black man, the white man. And you got all these Caucasian women. They know that there's a black man shortage, and they don't have no problem taking away from black women. That to me is disrespectful. No disrespect to you ladies, but if there was more than enough black men out here to go around, I would say 2 thumbs up, because I'm not a racist. Love has no color. I get it. But when there's already so few of black men to go around for these black women who are insisting on being with a black man, I say no, forget about that nonsense. Stop saying I just want a black man. You're supposed to say I want a good man. You still want marriage, children, a family. Well, you have to look for a good man. That has no color to it, sweetheart. And you have no other choice but to reach outside your race. And you say you don't want to share a man. Well, there's not enough black men to go around, so you're going to end up sharing one. Trust that. He's going to share his corn on the cob. It's eggplant throughout the community. Why do you think you have people going back to that polyamory? Women are so desperate for a dude, Dusty, they don't even care about sharing them. Rather than just go to another race of men who's going to treat you right. Black men don't have no problem. They sit up there making points, man, for the other team. They don't care about making points for their own team. They're trying to do everything. They're reckless. They're messy. And they don't care. So don't listen to that crap about ancient history and learn to follow your scriptures. And don't worry about what color Jesus was. That's not the important part. The important part is Jesus has the power. He has the resources. He has everything to get you through. As long as you team Jesus, he's got you. For all these other people who are Hindu, Buddhist, and what have you, not disrespecting anyone's religion, but they are antichrist, and they're going to let their gods take care of them, and Jesus is going to take care of his people. And I hate it when I hear all of this trying to do this black thing, where Jesus was black, look at the scriptures in Revelation, his feet was copper. Who gives a damn? You better focus on what's important, and that's the message. And black men, all of you men who refuse to date your own skin tone, because I talked to my ex-husband. He's dark-skinned, and I said, have you ever had issues when it comes to your skin tone? He said, I used to. I used to hate my skin tone, And now he's out there chasing after Caucasian women. He said, I'm not like that anymore. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I've never seen that man be with someone his own skin tone. He's really, really dark skinned. He ain't never been with no woman his own skin tone. That's called self-hatred. You don't care about whether this woman have a good heart. She has an amazing character. She's the wrong skin tone, right, black man? You know what I'm talking about, Mr. Colorism. Black man, find a seat, honey. Sit down and put a sock in it. And I'm trying my best not to lose respect for you. But you make it very hard. You make it very hard. So just shut your mouth and stop blaming everything on the white man and take accountability, especially when you're beating and tearing your own race and nation down. Because remember, black man, Black Lives Matter, right? Hypocrite.